Hey everyone, it's Rachel from the kitchen at Sugar Maple Farmhouse, and today we're gonna make baby back ribs. Baby back ribs are one of our favorite summertime dinners. It's something I can even get my picky kids to eat. My recipe includes cooking these low and slow for about 4 hours before taking them out of the tin foil and then putting them on a medium heat for another about 10-15 minutes. I like to add a rub onto these first, and then I also like to add some homemade barbecue sauce. So I'm going to show you how to do all of that today. Let's get started. Before you do anything, you want to remove the membrane on the ribs. This is a piece of tissue that's attached to the underside of pork ribs. Unlike the cartilage and other tissue between and around the ribs, this membrane will not soften when it's cooked. So it will just stay chewy, and you want to get rid of this so that you can get the ribs as tender as possible. And I usually have Kevin do this for me because I hate doing it, and he doesn't mind because he gets to eat the ribs. First, I'm going to add my homemade rub. So this is going to go on both sides of the baby back ribs. I have two, one for each side, and this contains garlic salt, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and dark chili powder. I will have the full ingredients in a blog post for you, so you can go there, and I will leave the link to that blog post in the description below. I'm going to start by just taking some of this on my hands. Actually, it's not very well mixed, so let's mix it. Make sure you wash your hands before you do this. You want to heavily season ribs, or really any meat that you're putting on the grill, because you are going to lose some of that seasoning in the cooking process. And even though these ribs will be wrapped up in this tin foil, you're still going to lose some of that seasoning. You can even see it like sitting down here as it kind of rolls off the ribs. Now I'm going to flip this over, and these are actually going to be cooked on this side first. So they're going to be cooked meat side down, bone side up first. And I'm going to wash my hands again really fast. Now I'm going to mix this up with a fork this time and put these spices on the bone side of the ribs. Really just cover everything with a nice layer of this seasoning. My dishwasher going off. I don't know if you guys can hear it. All right. So, like I said, this is going to cook meat side down, bone side up first, and I'm going to tent it. So I've already got my tin foil here. I've done kind of a double layer so I can overlap it. You do not want the tin foil to touch the top of the ribs. So we are going to do this as gently as possible. It's usually a good idea if you can curl it in a little bit on the ends first That's why I like to make it a little bit longer than the ribs themselves. And then you get this kind of nice, already tented shape, and you can just fold one piece kind of over the other here. All right, so now that the ribs are tended, I'm going to take them out to the grill and start the cooking process. Basically, you want to keep the grill as close to 250 as possible without going under. So for the first 2 hours, I'm going to cook these meat side down, bone side up, tented at 250 for 2 hours. Then what I'll do is I will come in, untent them, flip them over, and cook them again for another 2 hours after I retent them. So that's really the whole cooking process for these. It's all about cooking them low and cooking them slow. You can go up a little bit. Sometimes our grill will end up going to 270, but you really want to try to keep it as close to 250 as possible, and do not go over 300. Let's go make them.
All right, so here are our ribs on our grill. We have them cooking over the side with no flame. So you want to turn on the side of your grill that is opposite the ribs, and that's the side you'll leave on. Basically, you want to create a nice warm environment inside the grill, but you don't want the ribs cooking directly over the flame. Once you have them in position, close the grill and set a timer for 2 hours.
So while the ribs are cooking, I like to make the homemade barbecue sauce. And this is a pretty simple sauce. It has a lot of ingredients, but the flavor is amazing. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit tangy, it's just a touch spicy. You can make it spicier if you want to, if you're big on spice. But this is a sauce that my whole family loves, and everybody who's tried it has loved it too. So it starts with a ketchup base. And then I'm gonna butcher this. This is Worcestershire sauce. I know that's not how you pronounce it. I cannot pronounce it, but that's what this is. All in there. Some yellow mustard. Some soy sauce. Brown sugar, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of hot sauce. And again, if you want yours spicier, you can always add more hot sauce. But I recommend throwing everything in first and mixing it, and then deciding if you want more spice. Lemon juice, oh, this is the maple syrup. I couldn't remember what this was. Maple syrup. You can also use honey. Make sure if you're using maple syrup though, it's 100% maple syrup. It's not like pancake syrup or something like that. This is garlic powder and onion powder. And this is liquid smoke. It already smells so good. It's like a magical combination. All right, that's it. That's all it takes to create this homemade barbecue sauce. So I'm going to store it in the fridge. I can leave it in this bowl. You can leave it in a bowl. I usually put mine in a mason jar if I'm going to keep it. It will keep It will keep for about a week. You can probably keep it longer, but I always feel like once it goes past a week, the tomatoey and the ketchup starts coming out a little too much. So I would say, my dogs are knocking at the door. I would say you can keep this about a week as is and then make a fresh batch. It's just, you want to have it fresh as possible. So I'm going to pop this in the fridge and then I'm going to wait until it's time to go flip the ribs.
Okay, so the 2 hours is up and we are checking on the ribs. You want to carefully untent them first. Then you want to take that homemade barbecue sauce that we made and brush it onto both sides of the ribs. So start with the side that's up, which is the underside, and brush all the way down. Once you have the whole underside sauced, go ahead and flip the ribs over and then add the sauce to the top of the ribs. Kevin made me wear these heat gloves to do this, which was really helpful, except for the covering, the black covering on it was not in my size, so I was struggling a little bit with them, and I just decided to take that part off. When I mentioned before about having extra sauce and storing it, you do end up using quite a bit of the homemade barbecue sauce on the ribs while they're cooking. So you won't have too much left over. You'll have some left over for drizzling on top, but you'll probably just have enough for this meal. Once the sauce is on, I like to add a 1/4 cup of liquid. So I am adding here an IPA beer, but you can also add an apple cider, you can add an orange juice, or you could just add water. This will help to keep the ribs more tender because it gives them a little more moisture as they're cooking. Once you've done everything, it's time to retent the ribs with the meat side up this time and cook them for another 2 hours. Again, keep them on the side of the grill that is opposite the flame. Once that next 2 hours is up, it's time to check on the ribs. So here I can tell they're already looking not quite done how I want them to. I really want these ribs to be pull-apart ribs so they're nice and easy to eat, but I can tell that they're not quite there yet because of the way the fat has not rendered on the bone. So I decided to sauce them and then cook them for another 15 minutes in the grill untented, and I turned the heat on underneath the ribs as well. Now that we're at the end, it's okay to kick the heat up and to let the grill get all the way up to even 450. The increased heat is going to help to render some of that fat off, and it's going to give you a nice smoky flavor. You can see now that we open the grill up about 10 or 15 minutes later, we have got a nicer kind of char going on the ribs, but they're still not exactly how I want them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them off the foil altogether, and this is generally my last step with cooking ribs. I'm going to turn the flame off on that one side again, and I'm going to put the ribs back on the grill for just another 10 minutes. Once I put them back down here, you'll be able to see part of that bone coming through on the ribs, which is how you want it. You want that fat rendering so that the bone shows through just a little bit. All right, here they are. They are done now. You can see the char on them. The fat has rendered off those front bones just a little bit more, and these are some good looking ribs.
So our ribs are done and they look amazing. Look at that. So good. All right, let's see how these cut. Oh, like butter. In fact, look at that, you guys. They're pretty much fall off the bone. Look at that. So good. Let's taste it. Just really, really good. Summer at its best. I'm gonna lick my fingers because I have nothing else. Thank you guys so much for following along today. I hope that you love this recipe. There will be a full blog post up at sugarmaplefarmhouse.com on the baby back ribs, and I will leave a link for you in the description below. If you've not subscribed to our channel yet, please hit the subscribe button so you can follow along with everything we're doing here at the farmhouse. You get great recipes, you get DIYs, you get some farm updates every now and then, and we'd love to have you. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.